And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio.
Where today we are talking about must-do magic you can find at Disney Springs. Yeah, this is an exciting topic of conversation.
The fifth park.
The fifth park.
Kind of.
The fifth gate, that's not a gate.
Right.
Disney Springs sometimes can be overlooked by vacationers when they're traveling to Walt Disney World, or they may want to go to Disney Springs but they don't know all of the, maybe all of the options that they have. There's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, there's entertainment, there's great food, shopping, of course.
Yeah, you'll never run out of things.
Yeah.
We have not even tried everything. We go all the time.
Oh my gosh, yes, exactly. The list of restaurants that I want to try there's a bunch that we haven't been to yet.
Yeah, there's always new stuff. There's always new restaurants coming in and stuff. So it's kind of always popping over there. So we're gonna go through this list in our must-do magic kind of format, where we take a look at each category of dining and shopping and experiences and stuff, and we're gonna see what we recommend more than other things.
Yeah, this is like the last part of our series, right? The must-do magic series.
Unless we can manage one of these for resorts.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Here, there, and I don't know. There's a section of the Hidden Mickey book, at least back in the day. There's been a bunch of editions of the Hidden Mickey book, and there was like, he had every park, and then here, there, and something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was like everything that's not one of these places.
Okay. I'm not familiar with those, so
yeah.
I didn't catch the reference, but now I get it.
I used to be an avid Hidden Mickey hunter.
Yeah, that's a fun little activity, huh? Disney Springs, they must have one.
Yeah, they do. Here, everywhere.
All right. Before we dive in
the cruises.
The cruises.
Anywhere that Imagineers put together, they put Hidden Mickey.
Yeah, I could understand.
Yeah, I would be doing it too.
I feel that. Before we start our list, though, we did want to say thank you for listening or watching if you're on the Neverland Navigation channel.
Yep.
We appreciate your support. If you would like to support our channel even more, then it would be super awesome if you guys could like the video if you're on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, or if you're on a listening platform like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you subscribe to the show so you can see when episodes are coming out. If you feel like leaving us a review, then that would be awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate that so much.
Absolutely.
If you're planning a vacation on a Disney cruise or a Disney parks or any other kind of cruise, I am a travel agent that will work for you for free. I get paid by the supplier, so I'll get you the best deal that there is, the same deal as you could get online or better, a lot of times better. And you get for working with me, you would get a free t-shirt or poster from our Etsy shops.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
That's starting your vacation the right way. That's
yes. Email me at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com for, to talk about it.
Yeah. There's no downside to having a travel advisor.
Now that it's free to you, yeah. And you give free kickbacks.
Woo!
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get into Disney Springs.
Let's get into Disney Springs. Hey, first of all, now I feel like I know your answer to this already, but when you arrive to Disney Springs, the first thing you have to deal with is the parking.
Yeah.
So, is there a parking garage that you prefer, or for you, is it just about the closest to wherever you're going?
Actually, it's just about the closest to wherever I'm going.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought that might be your philosophy.
Oh, really?
You're very pragmatic.
I am.
Parking
I plan ahead. Yes. If I had no specific direction, if we were like, hey, let's just go shopping and wander, yes. Mm-hmm. Then I think I would choose the Lime Garage.
Okay, all right. Why is that?
You're gonna think I'm crazy.
What?
Because there's bathrooms right there.
No, that's not crazy. That's great.
It's you enter, you go through security and then you come down and go into Disney Springs, and then right behind that escalator are very conveniently located bathrooms.
Yeah, by some bathrooms.
We travel from the Tampa area, so it's a bit of a drive, and I always need to use the restroom as soon as I get there.
Yeah.
But
bathrooms are a lot of people's very first thing that they do.
Yeah.
Whether they, it's not always something you plan, but it's probably one of the first things you might do when you go into Disney Springs. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The convenience stuff along.
I don't know if I'm just still planning ahead from this from like back in my early parenting days where I had a small child that you always want to know where the closest restroom is. But also, I mean, yeah, I just think it's helpful.
Yeah, totally. That makes a lot of sense. There's a big, a couple years ago, it started kind of this Twitter debate about lying versus boring.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, the things that Disney fans like,
what do you think?
go hard. And in my opinion, I'm like you, where usually we've got a goal in mind.
Yes,
of
exactly.
Like a restaurant or an experience, whatever. So I really don't have a dog in the fight, but I am happy to park in line. Isn't that the one where if you walk out, you land immediately next to like the flight and stuff? So, I won't give away stuff that's coming later on my list, but if you're on the visual version of the podcast, you might be able to tell that there's a certain barbecue quick serve restaurant that I appreciate. So, if I end up there first, I won't complain.
Right. Yes. A lot of times we'll go to a movie that is right by the Orange Garage, or if we're like specifically planning to end our night with a cookie or something from Summer House on the Lake, then I'll pick those. But so it just
Gotcha.
I'm not. There are other options too.
Yes.
Yeah, there's surface parking. I don't.
Grapefruit.
Strawberry.
But
do those even exist? Like I don't know.
I don't know. I just see them on
We
Google
only
Maps.
do exactly, and there's signs.
Yeah.
We only do the two.
Yeah, we only do the two, and they've done us right so far. And we're going later today, so hopefully one of them will continue.
Yeah.
And when we get there, we may want a snack, and if we're going to have a snack, and it's going to be a savory snack, is there one that you recommend as must do?
I do. Yeah. You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay, so the savory snack I put as must do is poutine.
Me too.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked through the list to make sure I wasn't forgetting anything, and I'm like, what, this is it?
Yeah, it's honestly, that's definitely my go-to savory snack. Do you find the poutine stand at Disney Springs to be a comparable quality to the poutine like at Epcot in the world?
I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty similar.
Yeah. It's right outside of World of Disney, across from Amorette's. Yeah. Is that how you say it?
I think so. The bakery?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like also how, I know the Epcot one does this too, how there's like, I want to say a seasonal flavor. Yeah. But it's not necessarily seasonal, it's just rotating, yeah.
Rotating. Disney Springs, I think there are more options, because they've always got like, I feel like 3 or 4, maybe?
4 or 6, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, maybe you're right, maybe it's 4. I do think they started doing that at Epcot now, though, too.
Oh, at the same time they're offering all those different?
No, not the same, but I think they're consistently doing 3 or 4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like the option for variety, but most of the time, I honestly just prefer the regular one.
Me too.
I've tried a bunch of them, though. I've tried the Italian one, and they had one that I want to say, like, Indian food inspired.
Yes, they did recently.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like a tikka masala poutine. Yes.
All very
interesting.
fusion-y.
Yeah.
I've tried a little bit of all of them, but yeah, there's something about that original.
Maybe there is a little bit of seasonality to it, because I think they have I know at some point they have had Thanksgiving one around Thanksgiving that had like stuffing and cranberry on it.
I've never tried that
Yum.
one. I would try that for sure. That sounds like it goes together nice. I mean, when you've got cravings, easy to take it to it.
Yes.
Alright. I actually don't have a backup. I'm only getting poutine.
I know, right?
But I do have a backup for this one in case it's the same
I
thing
have
again.
like 5.
Yeah. Disney Springs has like a bountiful array of sweet treat options, and that's our next category. My must-do on this list was Gideon's Bakehouse.
Okay.
Just because it is the most Disney-esque experience you can have getting a sweet treat, I think.
You're so right.
Because you're going into like a highly themed environment.
Like Tim Burton's bakery.
Yeah.
It's not, but
right.
It should be.
Same vibe for sure.
Yeah.
It's like that gothic style. It's very cool in there. It's a well-themed little environment, and of course, they've got high quality cookie and cake options, and they also have a peanut butter cold brew. That's like their signature coffee. So
have you tried it?
I have tried that. I'm really not too much of a cold brew person in general, so I don't think I'm the right person to ask.
Yeah.
But if you are a cold brew person, then maybe you like the contrast of the bitterness of the cold brew. I think that's what they're going.
Do you have a favorite cookie or cake, or do you just try something different every time?
I try to try something different every time. I've enjoyed just about everything I've tried. My favorite may have been the peanut butter cookie that they had for a while. It was a peanut butter cookie, and it was coated on the outside with those peanut butter morsels.
Oh.
That was really good.
Yeah, my favorite is the pistachio toffee chocolate cookie.
Of course.
Yeah, pistachio is one of my favorite things to have in a dessert, which you guys might already know. Toffee, like I like butterscotch, and toffee is like kind of in the same category.
Yeah.
So this is a really home run for me.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So I don't get anything different.
Oh, okay.
I'll get that, and then I'll try whatever anybody else has.
That's a good philosophy to at least be able to find stuff. Something I've never tried from them is their super thick like slice of cake.
They're always out when I go.
We do tend to go late.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've still not gotten around to that.
Is it because they're always out?
No, I've been in there when they have it. I just always want a cookie and not like a
right.
slice of cake.
That's what they're known for.
But I'll broaden my horizons.
We should split one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Just split one because they look kind of. All right. Let's move on then to a.
Oh no, I haven't done mine.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I thought you were also. Okay.
Well, no, I did list that, but I really did write down 3 things.
Oh.
So
great.
I'm gonna name my number 1,
Please.
which is the brown butter rice crispy treat or the pink frosted cookie at Summer House on the Lake. So this is a new option. We've done a review. We really, really, really enjoy it. Those are my 2 favorite things there, but all of their cookies are really good. And then I just need to throw out there that in June, Sprinkles does an amazing fried cupcake that like makes me so happy.
It's about to be time.
Yes,
for
yes.
That, huh?
But when this airs, it'll probably be June, so perfect. Go get one. It's a strawberry cupcake with rainbow sprinkles in the middle.
Sprinkles also has a really nice little outdoor seating section. June is a pretty hot time in Florida, so outdoor seating is always rough, but it is shaded in by the water, so it might work. But that Sprinkles cupcake is really good. I'm excited for Pride time because
and Disney Springs does such a great job decorating for Pride.
Oh yeah, they have like a bunch of like cutouts and decorations.
Yeah, rainbows. Yeah, love it. So the desserts, there's so many good sweet snacks that I would advise getting one there and then getting one to take with you to have later.
That's always nice. Yeah.
I always want to do that because there's so many awesome things to have. There's a ton of stuff that we love that we haven't even mentioned, like ice creams and more cake places and more cookie places and all that. So, and there's
there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah. Okay, so next is quick serve. Can you go first? I wrote down 2. Oh, I know which one you're going to name. This is also my favorite, but I have another one I'll talk about.
Okay, great. I have a backup as well.
Oh, okay. I wonder if our backup.
But my number 1 is the polite pig.
Yes.
This is like southern barbecue food. It is some of the higher quality.
Michelin recommended.
Right, Michelin recommended, which is it's not a Michelin star, but for quick serve locations, the good folks over at Michelin created a new accolade, and the polite pig received.
I'm gonna make sure I got that right. Anyway,
so that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a modern industrial setting on the inside, but when you walk in, you're greeted by the staff who take your order at the counter, and the fare is pulled pork and chicken and kind of go-to comfort foods like mac and cheese, Brussels sprouts, fried Brussels sprouts, all kinds of stuff.
Recognized by the Michelin Guide. So
Yes.
I was close on the verbiage. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, that's good to know.
Oh my gosh, like
Yeah, really good. My favorite thing to get there is their trio sliders, so you can have. They have different sauces on each of them and different toppings and stuff. There's not much there that we've tried that we haven't really enjoyed, so it's definitely a go-to for us.
I will say I like the sandwiches more than like the barbecue entree type things, like just getting ribs or whatever.
Yeah.
The sandwiches were better because they did such a great job of pairing kind of unique flavors. And that just elevates the experience to different than barbecue you can get anywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would recommend a sandwich.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's usually
Like your slider one you mentioned, or even if you pick one individually. I got the slider one, or maybe I just tried yours when you got it,
maybe.
and then that led me to figure out which was my favorite. I think it's called the Southern.
That sounds right.
And so now I just
Yeah, that is
and
a
the
good one.
sides are amazing too. They're like elevated.
The sides are really good. Good sides are key to good barbecue by mine. So that's
Yeah.
All right. What do you have as must do?
My other one, my backup, or really for me it depends on mood.
Yeah.
I think most of the time my mood is more for polite cake, but sometimes my mood is for fish and chips. And Disney Springs has the best fish and chips, like better than the UK and Epcot.
Yeah, I agree.
Shocking, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. I don't know who's running the fish and chips. You know what I mean? I think that this is really authentic.
Yeah.
Irish
Yes.
fish and chips. The batter that they put on the fish is so like light and crispy and amazing.
Yeah.
The tartar sauce. Last time we went there, I said to the person I was who was taking the order, I was like, "Can I have an extra side of what is it, tartar sauce?" And she said, "Yeah." And I was like, "It deserves a better name because it does. It doesn't taste like Heinz tartar sauce or whatever. It is like next level. It's homemade.
Yeah, it's got a different flavor profile also than your typical processed tartar sauce.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit more of like a garlic type of flavor.
Caper, maybe.
Capers,
Yeah.
yeah. It's also got
good.
some like smokiness.
And it's not super chunky.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I would definitely. I also was like.
Oh yeah, fries. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah, that
was that your backup? Also, just curious.
No, that is a great option because it's Dublin. But my backup was actually Chicken Guy, which is the Guy Fieri's quick serve there in Disney Springs, where it's mostly just chicken tenders or chicken sandwiches, and there's a whole array of dipping sauces.
The star of the show.
The star of the show is all the sauces.
Yeah.
And you get to mix and match and try different ones with your friends and stuff, which is a nice experience. But the chicken is always hot and flavorful and tender, and the sauces are like a fun aspect to the dining experience. There's not a ton of indoor seating, but there is indoor seating, so you could.
Same with Cooks of Dublin.
Yeah, it is kind of a similar. Where there is inside seating, but you kind of have to fight for it.
You know what? Last time I went, there was scaffolding all around Chicken Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're doing something.
Maybe they're making the dining area bigger.
I think
I don't know what else you could do to it.
Yes, I think Tyler, my husband, saw that they walked up to the signage on the fence and saw that what they were doing was maybe enclosing the outdoor section to make it like patios.
Interesting.
Make it more cool, I would assume.
Interesting.
But we'll see. In the meantime, though, I do think that the food itself there is good enough for me to say that I would go.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense for a backup for you. So, I'm really into seafood. Seafood is my favorite, my favorite food, my favorite second food. They're both seafood. And then Jake is less into seafood. You're I will eat seafood, but it's never your top.
Yeah.
It's not like he hates it.
No, it's just a little bit more hit or miss for me. I really like Cooks of Dublin, even though it's fried, the quality of the fish is so high and nice. It's so flaky and tender that it's not a problem because the flavor is so good. I just am scared of bad seafood. So I'm a
Oh,
little more like hesitant to try stuff if I'm not sure I'm,
yeah.
really
Did
into
you have
it.
a bad experience?
Yeah, I've had a lot of bad seafood. Being
Oh,
from Florida, I feel like everyone thinks they know how to cook seafood because it's pretty readily available
sure.
here because, we're coastal. So I don't know, maybe just being where I'm from southern Florida where there's like pop up like bar and grill type spots all over the place.
Hmm.
And sometimes I just feel like I've had some cases where the preparation lets down the ingredients. And so that leaves a bad taste.
Ah, okay.
But there's a
Hmm.
lot of good places around Disney that offer really good seafood. So it is worth
Shockingly
trying.
good, yeah.
Yeah, when we tried the fish and chips from Dublin, I was like blown away by the great quality of it. I would eat
Yeah.
that for lunch time. So
Awesome.
just depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are great. What was your backup was what again?
Was cooked. My number one is flight pig, but
Okay,
I
got
really feel like those could go back and forth for me because it's a new thing. They're totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely understand. I even got a burger at Cooks and Dublin.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes to show you.
Yeah, which is great because it's rare that your whole party is going to be interested in fish and chips. I've
Exactly.
found that it's not as likely as you think.
Right.
I have a hard time getting people to go with me over there.
Yeah. I would gladly get those.
My husband will go with me, but my teenager will not. So,
Right.
not interested.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Although maybe, your child's a mood for a burger. At least they can try it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If quick serve is not what you're looking to make a reservation somewhere. We have a couple of must-do sit-downs in Disney Springs, and honestly, this is probably the hardest one because Disney Springs has so much good sit-down dining to offer. But I went first last night. Your must-do sit-down, Morgan.
Well, I was really split between two, but I doubt that they're the same as yours.
All right.
I'm kind of should I say one of them?
Yeah, go for your big one. What's your number?
I don't know.
Oh,
like
well,
you
that's
said,
okay.
it's so hard.
Well, then just do.
I'll say the
whichever.
one that I'm guessing you wouldn't have said.
Okay.
Okay. So, at the top of my list, towards the top of my list, is Rick Bayless's Frontera.
Yeah.
This is Rick Bayless is a celebrity chef. He was on Top Chef Masters, which is a show that I watched and enjoyed. So it was kind of cool to be able to go to his restaurant.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed the elevated Mexican food that they offer there. It is not like regular Americanized Mexican, it's really, really, everything was like high quality and very, very yummy.
Yeah. And inventive flavor pairings and interesting sauces and all kinds of stuff.
And I would call this restaurant underrated because we can usually get a reservation here if we want.
Yeah. Not one of the most popular spots in Disney Springs, but we enjoyed it through and through. It was one of the first Disney Springs restaurants that we reviewed for Neverland Navigation, and we really enjoyed our meal. Not only was the food super flavorful, but we loved the aesthetic of the interior. We loved the designs going on with the bright pops of color going on in there, and the traditional patterns throughout that added an extra flair to the inside. I would gladly get up Frontera anytime. It's definitely, like you said, different from anything like Hacienda or San Angel over at
It might
Epcot.
be a little bit like La Hacienda, don't you think?
Well, in the fact that they are both, like Mexican, it's definitely Mexican menus. I would say probably a kind of similar price point. I found Frontera to have a little bit more variety in the menu. I wish I could remember the cost of each.
Yeah. Well, I can look it up if you want.
Well, what was it about the experience at Frontera?
Just the food quality and the food. That to me, it wasn't ambiance. The ambiance at obviously either of the Epcot Mexican locations is better. But it's funny. It says Frontera Mex. They're like not Mex.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no prices on their online menu, of course.
Man, that's a bummer. I don't like one.
I know. Yeah, it was probably. I'll find it though. I would imagine it's priced about the same as La Hacienda. The food at Frontera might be better, although the food at La Hacienda is very good. So it's hard, different locations. So,
Right.
Here we go. So the food here, like chips and salsa, was $6, and it had that smoky like herby salsa verde.
Yeah.
We got queso fundido, which was good,
Mhm.
different. It was like not a dip so much as like a
Yeah.
cheese.
It was like stringy.
Yeah.
It was a very, very stringy situation. I remember that being, not our favorite.
But it was interesting. Like,
Yes.
it just wasn't what we were expecting. I think if we had known going into it that it was going to be this different experience
Mhm.
and not like a cheese dip, which is, as Americans, I guess what we're used to.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have appreciated it more. They have this pumpkin seed hummus, which I think we got, or if
Mhm.
not, I got some other time, and that was very good. These appetizers are like 15, 13. There's shrimp and lobster tostada for 19. And then tacos are in the $20 to $29 range. Entrees are 58 or 28, 36, 36, 38, 27. Kind of all over the board.
Yeah. But pretty similar to Hacienda.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would call that similar to La Hacienda, and I think the quality is probably similar too. So, I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd be picking Hacienda because the ambiance.
Yeah, that's totally fair. For my sit down choice, I picked Art Smith's Homecoming.
Yeah, that's my other one. That's
Yeah.
so funny. And I thought there was a really good chance you would pick that one.
Yeah, hard to deny Homecoming
Uh-huh.
in any list at Disney Springs because it just is, a reliable, good time experience. It's definitely a southern kitchen where they're basically doing higher end twists on southern staples.
Celebrity chef twist, if you will.
Yeah, and half of the fun I think is in the presentation, where if you order a batch of their deviled eggs, they come out in an egg carton, or if you order
Church Lady deviled eggs.
Yes,
Yeah, they've
Church
got fun
Lady
names too. I always love that.
yeah, and the interior is kind of like a mess hall where you all can and it's like almost like picnic table style seating. I really enjoy the vibe in there, and I think the food is super high quality, and I think it's taking an approachable cuisine like southern food and adding a little bit of like a modern celebrity chef twist, and I think it's fun for the average tourist or for the foodie in your group. So because it has such a broad appeal, I think you can recommend just about anyone to go.
Yes, absolutely. I also wrote down that if you want to go somewhere just for dessert, then I would recommend Raglan Road because they have this amazing bread pudding that they make to order, in like its own individual cup, and the sauce they put on top of it. It was just like creamy, warm, amazingness.
If you're someone who likes to sit at the bar,
yes,
that might be a good strategy for that.
That's what I've done before when I wanted just dessert from there.
Mm-hmm. And the bar actually has fair seating of the dancers and the entertainment that they have there.
And the bar is like first come, first serve.
Yeah, you have your reservation for the bar,
right,
and you might be able to see stuff dancing if you're there on a, at the right time of night.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. The only other one that I had on here was the Edison as a sit-down vacation. Not so much, honestly, for the food, which is why Homecoming is my number one, but because it is a memorable atmosphere. You are walking into a power plant turned speakeasy with a prohibition theme. Very cool. They've got like projections of little movies playing on the walls and nightly live entertainment with vintage twists on popular songs, which is, a fun entertainment.
Yeah. Some
of the food has fun presentation, and they have a bartender making specialty cocktails, including one that they design themselves every night for a fun twist. Great.
Oh, the pressure.
Oh, the pressure of it all, huh? Yeah, I agree. But anyway, it is a fun little experience. So if you're maybe just going to get a snack, or maybe just going to get a fun dessert or something, then the Edison were saying like also place to check out.
Yes.
We've gone in there, just gotten a drink at the bar, and enjoyed hearing the live entertainment.
Yeah,
so, you know,
yeah,
that's
fun.
cool. Yeah, had to get the Edison. Because we love entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, not until recently, well, in the past there have been, we did Must Do Magic for the theme parks. There was a category for nighttime spectacular, and if we considered it to be must do or not. Now Disney Springs gets to enter the ring for nighttime
Even though
spectaculars.
Animal Kingdom has nothing.
Even though Animal Kingdom, one of the 4 theme parks, does not have one. But hey, we'll take what we can get, especially since it's free. It's free to get into Disney Springs. It's free to park at Disney Springs. So it is available to anyone who wants to see it, which is rare for Disney. So we're happy about that. Disney Springs now has a nighttime spectacular called Disney Dreams That Soar. And we're actually taking a trip out there on the day we're recording this podcast back in the past to check it out.
Like a month ago.
Right. So check our social media now, and we'll probably already have stuff up for,
We better.
at least a reel of it.
Yes.
But yeah, this is a new nighttime spectacular. We're very excited by the fact that it exists. Morgan, we're going today. What are you hoping?
Well, I unfortunately got some spoilers because it opened a few days ago.
Yeah.
On Instagram and stuff like that. So I have. Plus, I mean, Disney Paris has been doing a drone show for a while.
Right.
So I know what to expect. The part that I think we're gonna find out about is viewing and stuff like that, like viewing locations, how insane crowded it is with it being open to anybody, no ticket required. But I'm hoping to be dazzled.
Are we all?
Yeah.
Yes. This is a drone-based nighttime spectacular. So it's going to be based on these drones making their colorful formations, maybe some recognizable characters and scenes. So
I love the concept that we should be able to see it up in the air, even if the person in front of us is tall or has their kid on their shoulders or what. All the reasons I can never see the castle projection during their nighttime spectacular.
Sure.
This should alleviate those problems.
Depending on where, we don't actually know any of the ins and outs yet.
Not yet.
But depending on where the drones are going up in the sky and what impediments might be in between your drones are, I'd be interested to see how much of Disney Springs see the drone show from.
Me too.
Or if there are locations that are going to be competitive versus others. I'm sure that will
There
be the
are.
case,
There are
but
some restaurants that have like patio, like in front of the area, like patio seating.
Okay.
Like I've heard House of Blues is one of them, and so that I think now their reservations are going to tick up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we shall see. We'll let you know how our experience goes. It's Memorial Day here in recording time. So, send us a prayer back to the past that we come out alive. But,
yeah, it looked, the picture that Jake's husband sent earlier, not pictures, a very short video, made it look like New Year's Eve in New York City.
yeah, and let me
I was like,
tell
oh
you,
no.
as someone with a little bit of crowd anxiety, I am already a little bit concerned. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll be okay. We'll let you know how
we're hoping to find that you don't have to be in the middle of all that to see it. That's what we're hoping for. I guess that's my biggest hope, actually.
Yes, that would be the ideal.
And then be able to report back to you guys that, hey, you don't need to be in this nutso crowd to see it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Crossing my fingers. Okay.
That's not the only entertainment at Disney Springs, though. There's also street entertainment that abounds. I picked for my Must Do Magic just whatever live music they have on the main stage. It's just what I like to watch. Their main stage is over by World of Disney and by like the Starbucks that's over there, and same kind of place where Amorette's, the bakery.
Yeah.
Same kind of general location.
But you're talking about that stage outside of the other exit where Stitch is spitting?
Yeah.
Okay.
To be even more specific, yes.
Yeah.
Around that side
spitting
of the building. Yes. I just think it's fun that they have all kinds of people up there. They sometimes have like people in like high school
High schoolers,
competitions.
yeah.
Sometimes it's local bands. Sometimes it's people doing Disney covers. Sometimes I've seen symphonic music being played there. So there's all kinds of a variety of live entertainment going on over at that stage. So it's always nice to just kind of go see what they're playing.
Yeah. So I also put live music, but mine isn't specific to one area.
All right.
So mine is more like the pop up guy playing the guitar, or the person that is rolling around playing a piano, who's like a moving piano player.
Yes.
There is a little stage over by Boathouse that generally has music that is playing that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a random random pop up live music. I love that.
And I think that is what makes it fun as well, is that you never know what's happening. Because even in the Christmas time, they have an a cappella group that goes around performing Christmas carols and wintertime favorites and stuff. So you never know what you're going to see down at the Springs, although there are the few reliable things that you know you're going to see, like the strolling piano, live music generally count on. But it is nice to be surprised with the other pop-ups. After all of our entertainment and eating, I think it's time to find a
this one and the next one I found to be the hardest for Disney Springs. So for me, for a place to relax in Disney Springs, it depends. It's very dependent upon weather or timing. There are a lot of outdoor sitting spaces available that are very pretty and nice to sit down and just absorb the ambiance around you and stuff like that. But if it's hot, then I'm not doing that because it's outdoors. You know what I mean? So,
I can understand.
So there's a lot of places that I would recommend if it's either night and cooling down, or if it's winter. Especially if they got the snow going and stuff like that. A lot of like seating places to just sit and absorb the ambiance.
Yes.
Where did you put
it? I agree in that there's a lot of great outdoor hangout spaces around Disney Springs. The ones specifically that I was thinking of are, I'm not totally sure what is on either end of this, if I'm being completely honest, but it's a bridge that plays, there's music where it's like instrumental pop covers of Disney songs that play, and there are benches along either side. It's kind of by the helium balloon. And it's going toward, I want to say, maybe the landing where Maria. No, it's the other side. Yeah, Disney Springs, obviously, for me, the mental map is a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Ever since it's been renovated.
Yeah, we need our wheel and spoke.
Yeah, that would be nice. But that's a cool place to hang out, and also next to Sprinkles, that little seating area I was talking about right on the water.
Yeah.
That's a nice little place to hang out. But like you said, in the summer months, that's hot. They need to. I would love if Disney Springs would open something akin to like a visitor center or something, where there could be an indoor space with maybe like a fountain or whatever at the center, where you can just go in there and chill, and I'm sure we sold things because that's usually what it's all about. But like, I would love if they could have just an indoor space where you can kind of just like relax, maybe pick up food or coffee or something. They need like a Connections in Epcot, like a Connection style, big open concept cafe dining seating area.
Yeah, with a ton of seating.
Yeah, so that you can actually go somewhere to relax and call your home base and, you know, kind of chill in there, have some reliably good bathroom. I would like to see that from Disney Springs. That would also be a great location for like preview centers for what's going around Walt Disney World.
That would be nice.
Because, you
know,
know,
they're selling you something about like it feeling like it's on.
Yeah. I want the Epcot experience, but the Walt Disney World. Yes. That would be great. But until then, I've just got these like string of outdoor places where you
Right.
can hopefully kind of.
Yeah, yeah. If it's hot, there's not. I mean, you can go see a movie. You
Right,
can
you
go to
gotta
a
pay.
restaurant. Yeah,
You can go to Splitsville and bowl in the AC, but you have to pay for that.
right.
Yeah, I don't like all of the AC.
Mhm.
There should be some free AC
Hmm.
for the people.
Mhm.
You know. That being said, something that Disney always provides you access to is restrooms.
Mhm.
Do you have one? Do you have one that stands out as a must-do restroom for you?
Actually, no. That I cannot. I've been racking my brain about this one, and every restroom I can think of in Disney Springs is awful.
Really?
Yeah, because Disney Springs is very busy, right?
Very,
All
yeah.
the time. And part of that is because locals love it. It's free. You don't need a ticket. You know what I mean? The bathrooms often have lines out the door. Just the women's, I'm sure. But so yeah, I mean, I guess the Lime Garage one is one that I wind up doing out of absolute convenience and location.
Yeah.
And that's really as much as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Did you pick one?
No, I didn't pick one in Disney Springs. Like, there is one on your way if you're going out of the main. They call it town center of Disney Springs,
Mm-hmm.
and you're about to head toward the landing, and you're walking past things like that watch shop that's kind of shaped like a temple or something. There's a nice little bathroom over there that's I think probably more seldom used than the other bathrooms.
Okay.
So that one's kind of nice. That's just popping in my head now.
Well, good job.
But in general, I
I'll
tend
have to
to
check that out.
use the restroom in like whatever restaurant that
Yes,
we're kind of
yes.
in.
Yeah.
Because that usually tends to be upkept a little bit better than, like you're saying.
Yeah.
That the common ones, like the ones that are used by everyone, tend to be like not only totally full, but also kind of dirty because it's impossible to keep up with hundreds.
Yeah,
People.
I would suggest that the one that's next to World of Disney and Amorette's Patisserie, I would suggest not going to that one. That one is always overcrowded and nasty.
Because after being in World of Disney for half an hour,
I think it's a very like everybody can see this restroom location.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to World of Disney, so it's just very high traffic.
Yeah, that's actually the whole right.
Yeah, and then you go.
Yeah.
I can never use that one because the line is always so long that it would take less time for me to walk back to the Lime Garage.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, so we're petitioning for better bathrooms and for maybe like a visitor fee.
Okay.
Please.
They can be in the same area. Yeah.
Are you ready to sound Disney? All right. If there's anything you can do at Disney Springs, it is shop. You can shop till you drop all day long. But there are some Disney themed locations around Disney Springs that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
I think I know your answer to this one, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What is your go-to Disney-esque shopping location in Disney Springs?
I put Disney's Days of Christmas. Is that not what you thought?
Nope.
Oh,
because
funny.
we both talked about another store that we love, but I forgot this one. I should have known that you were.
Yeah. Okay. So are you going to talk about the other one?
I will gladly.
Okay, because I was going to talk that was the other one I was thinking.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so the Disney Days of Christmas store is a year-round Christmas store, and the carpeting and the wallpaper and there's statues in there. They're all Christmassy. You can buy ornaments, and then there are people in there that will like write a name on the back. And they're like doing this and being observed. You know what I mean? I can't even imagine doing a job like that with people watching you all the time. But anyway, they can write dates and stuff, but they always have all the Christmas stuff and all the Christmas feels and the Christmas music, and it just warms my heart. They took this away from us at Hollywood Studios. And this one is a little bit bigger than the one in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick. This is my favorite of the Christmas shops. I think it's really cool to see all the Christmas ornaments and stuff. If you're also a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, and they come out with new collections of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, they also tend to put it forward So, if you want to check that out, that's cool. I also love all the like statuettes and figures that they have in the store. It's kind of like a 90s Disney vibe that I really appreciate. But my choice was Disney Style Store, which is over toward the main drag by the Aerophile Balloon and stuff. There's also like a Star Wars stuff store.
Yeah, and on the way back towards the Orange Garage and AMC, all that.
Yeah, the Disney Style Store offers an array of Disney-inspired fashions with some of your favorite characters and properties on the clothing, but it's a little bit more a unique selection than you might find at World of Disney, which is all the stuff from across the parks. It's got some stuff that I've only seen in that store in it, which is impressive by modern standards of Disney merchandising. And I also love the interior because it's like kind of retro Disney in there, where they've got a teacup from the Mad Tea Party that you can have a photo with inside the ride vehicle there. And then since I'm feeling, they've got one of the vehicles from the Disney Sky Buckets. Yeah, I was like, what are they? What is the Skyline? We did a TikTok about this a while ago, but it's been a while in case you couldn't tell. But that's a cool piece of like Magic Kingdom history, so I'm glad they've got one of those there, a Sky Bucket. People apparently, according to the comments of that TikTok that we made, our TikTok is definitely on Navco, by the way, because you want to well. But they had been in that store several times and hadn't ever looked up to notice.
You guys have to look up.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Well, yes, everywhere. But if you're in the Disney Style Store specifically, take a look to the sky and you'll see a piece of Magic Kingdom gone by hanging up there, which is pretty cool.
Imagineers put details into the floors and the ceilings of everywhere, so it is always a good idea to look up. I could not believe when you told me that people were responding to the TikTok and saying they had never noticed it. That's wild.
Yeah, it is kind of nice though, because when several people told me next time I'm in there, because of the TikTok,
you made a difference.
Yeah, we change lives every day here. All right. Non-Disney shopping locations.
For this last one, I do want to throw a shout out to Trendy and the Co-op and World of Disney. Those are, I never go to Disney Springs and not go to those three locations, although the Co-op and Trendy are kind of together.
What is that, Morgan?
Trendy has kind of like what you're talking about, minus the awesome ride vehicles where they've got clothing for just adults, and maybe just women. Now that I think about it.
No, I've seen stuff.
Okay. It's kind of unique. Like you don't find it in World of Disney.
Yeah.
You don't find it in the Emporium.
Right.
Like different. A little bit on the like fashionable side.
Yes.
With
and a little bit on the pricey side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. With a really fun interior in there. Mm-hmm. The Co-op has like kind of rotating. That's what it means, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Different kind of areas of a big space. Mm-hmm. Probably like 4 different rotating spaces. Like when you walked in there to the left used to be for like pets. Last time I walked in there, it wasn't pets anymore. And we were like, oh my gosh. But that's what a Co-op is, I guess. It's just changing. One section has art stuff. Another section also kind of now has art stuff. And then so it's all unique and changing and amazing. Right now, currently in the summer yet?
Yeah.
Summer.
Well, Memorial Day, people say.
Oh, okay, and this will come out probably in June. Yeah. So yes, summer. As of right now, in the back of the Co-op, they've got these really, really cool, which I'm going to post this on Instagram, so it should already be on Instagram. Neon pictures, like neon, like I can't really.
I haven't seen.
I know, but like it's like a neon, like light picture of like there's one of popcorn and there's one of I don't know. It's just really fun.
Yeah, neon sign.
Very 90s, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, I love that. And the World of Disney is like the Emporium, but even bigger.
Yeah, Big old Disney merchandise store.
Biggest Disney store probably ever.
Yeah,
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think so. Biggest one I've been in.
Yes, it's also insanely crowded all the time. I do appreciate that they've got wildly high ceilings. It does make you feel a little bit better about the crowds in there.
Yeah, people do get packed in.
Yeah,
especially on the busy week.
Yeah. And they kind of have everything. Anything that you probably saw at the Emporium or Creations or whatever, that's all in there.
Yeah.
In World of Disney.
It's a nice little hub.
It's
oftentimes we find when there are cast members looking for something specific, if we have something that we're looking for and they're out of it, they'll tell us to check World of.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of the go-to spot for everything parks.
Okay, now we can move on. But I love all of those stores.
Yeah.
My main shopping when I go to Disney Springs is Disney related stuff.
I agree.
That might be how I am everywhere though.
You're looking for Disney stuff.
I'm in Target looking for Disney.
But I think it's cool that they've got a bunch of cool Disney merch options though, because, you know, it is
Yes.
But if you're someone who's already got everything you need and you're looking for something that's not specifically Disney, there are a bunch of options for that throughout Disney Springs as well. I'll go first this time. I picked Uniqlo as my go-to. This is a 2-level shopping this is a 2-level store in Disney Springs that has kind of an array of some Disney like t-shirts and stuff on the bottom floor and hoodies. But it's mostly just like fashionable basics, like that fashionable essentials like solid or simple pattern hoodies and pants and sweatshirts and stuff. Styled and paired in interesting ways. It's not always, I would say, it's not always the most interesting browsing, I will say. They've got a lot of basics going on in there. It kind of sometimes can look like, I don't know, the standard section of like a department store for men or women or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are occasionally some finds that are really cool, and they also have sales sometimes where you can get 2 t-shirts for, you know, $30, I want to say is what it was last time, which is, you know, good for Disney standards. So yeah, it's just cool to walk around in there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What did you have?
I put Basin.
Yeah.
And I love the smell of Basin. I love just kind of looking around and they do Basin does like soaps and bath stuff and stuff like that. So it's a little, you know, frilly, smells lovely. They do handmade like loaves of soap and then we'll slice them. And I don't know, that's very satisfying.
Yeah, soap making is satisfying.
Yeah. And they do one that I've bought in the past that was like a loaf of, I don't know what the right term is.
Whatever. Yeah, like a big bar.
Yeah, like a giant, I think loaf works because of the slicing of bread. Yeah. But anyway, it has like Mickey's in it.
Yeah.
So it is like a Mickey lovely smelling soap that I bought a slice of.
See, even in the non-Disney location, we're going to bought Mickey soap.
Yes, I know. That's why I was laughing at you when you were like, if you've got all your Disney stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, for my non-Disney one, I'm thinking something Disney. But they've got really cute soaps that aren't Disney. Why are you in Disney Springs if you don't like Disney stuff? I don't know. But that are like, have like citrus slices and stuff like that. Very, very cute.
It is cool to walk in there.
And if you're a pass holder, you get a discount there.
Oh, really?
Yes, isn't that interesting? It's something to know that pass holders, if you're a pass holder, and then sometimes a Disney Visa card holder will get a discount on shopping in some of these locations, even the ones that aren't Disney.
Yeah, that is good to know. Write that down in your tip book.
Yeah, so it's a good place to get maybe like a gift too.
That's what I was going to say. I really like getting people gifts in there. Who doesn't love, you know, a shower or a bath, you know, product? A nice one.
Yeah.
Mickey soap, sure. It's also similar, I wanted to say, it's like a Lush or something like that. If you have one of those in your local mall, wherever you are, it's kind of a similar concept, but honestly, I prefer Basin, because I feel like you can walk around and sample everything. well, I will say our Lush location here, like, I know there are bigger ones, but our one here in our local mall is
like a closet.
it's like a closet. So like I really appreciate that the basement is like a walk around kind of experience.
Yeah. Oh man, that area that Basin is in, that like a roll of sandwiches in, just being back there reminds me of being a kid because that's when it was downtown Disney, and they never really changed the outside of those buildings.
No.
Yeah, so that whole area I really like
It is nice
in a nostalgic way. Okay, transportation.
Yeah, Disney Springs, honestly, there's a lot of bus transportation going on.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there are parking garages if you want to come with your own car, if you've got your own car with you for your local. But other than that, transportation to Disney Springs is kind of sparse. There aren't that many methods. So I'm thinking we picked the same one.
We sure did. I have no doubt.
Of course.
Unless you picked the bus.
I did not pick the bus.
Did you pick walking?
I did not pick walking. Should we say it at the same
Yeah,
time? 1,
sure.
2, 3. Boats!
I was like, he's going to say some official title for them, and I'm just going to say boat.
They're like the Saskalucha riverboats or
Whatever.
something. Yeah.
Whatever. They're boats.
They're great. We're talking about the boat transportation from, they only go a couple of places, don't they?
Yeah, they go from Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter.
Mm-hmm. The Saratoga gonna stop?
Yeah, Saratoga, it's a different boat. It's not a different stop.
Okay, different route.
Yeah, it's different.
Gotcha.
Different boat. I don't. Old Key West might also get a stop in that same route as Saratoga Springs because they are neighbors, but I don't know because I've never stayed there. We've stayed at French Quarter and Riverside, and that's always the one I take. Old Key West is also walkable from Disney Springs,
right? Which
is why you could have said walking if you wanted.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think the boat for me is actually, even though Disney Springs doesn't have that many options, I think this is one of my favorites on property, this particular boat ride.
This is lovely. Yeah, it's a lovely experience. Go on.
It's like a waterway that they created specifically for like resort to downtown transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself is pretty cool because you get to see the waterways carved through the swamp. But also you get to pass by some.
You just made it scary for me. I don't
yeah, it's not scary unless something's scary. No, I'm just kidding. It's not scary at all. It's just you get to like you feel a little bit more like you're out in the Florida wilderness a little bit when you're on the boats.
Yeah.
But you are within the Disney bubble of protection, so don't worry. That Michael Eisner will pop out from underneath the water and protect you from anything you do.
Yes.
But you get to see some lesser seen Disney sites along this way, including the resorts that are not more typically frequented, but also like the Saratoga treehouse living situation that they've got over there, which is pretty cool.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, interesting. We'll do an episode or something on those one time, just because they're so interesting, or at least a technology or something.
Yeah. Well, we're only going to be able to tell you about them from a distance, though, because they're like crazy expensive.
Yeah, they're thousands of dollars. But they are cool. They are a cool part of Disney. Yeah, treehouse life. But it's just an enjoyable boat ride. We like taking that one. So.
I've learned some very interesting things from taking that boat too. If you get a good skipper that tells you wants to give you some facts, sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. Depends on the person. Right. Probably depends on how many people are in the boat. Mm-hmm. I feel like the times I've gotten a chatty skipper, is it skipper? I think I asked this last time. Where when there weren't very many people on the boat, and it wasn't, maybe they weren't having to worry about watching anybody.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's where I learned that the aerofoil is not a hot air balloon, but in fact a helium balloon.
Gotcha. Understand. That, honestly, this is one of my, for that reason, for like the fact that you might get a skipper, captain, whatever, who knows, an interesting thing to do, and because of the sightseeing. This is one of my
breezy,
chill vibes for sure. This is one of my preferred Disney Springs experiences, but it's not the only experience. There's a lot you can do at Disney Springs. Yeah. Is there something that and we haven't tried them yet. We haven't tried everything yet. Is there a Disney Springs experience that you have not done yet that you would like to do?
After
Speaking of the
I talked to you about this, I realized there was one that I have done that I do want to talk about.
Oh.
But one that I haven't done yet I'll go ahead and talk about the one I have done.
Sure.
Okay. There's a Cirque du Soleil show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really, really loved it back when it was new, and now it is drawing to life, which brings in some Disney storytelling into it. And it was a really good show. It reminds me of shows like you would see on a Disney cruise line, plus some like Cirque du Soleil elements. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really good. I felt like it was pretty expensive. I don't know if that's because I went at the very beginning, though. I haven't priced it since then. So that was a really fun show experience.
Cool. That's awesome. That little that Cirque du Soleil area over there is something that I've actually always wanted to experience. To go deal with that Cirque du Soleil.
Was that what you put?
But I haven't gotten to do it yet, so that would be awesome. That's not what I put.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I definitely can see the appeal in that.
What did you put as your thing you want to try?
Oh, the thing I want to try, I put the aqua cars.
Oh, that's a good one.
They're kind of, I believe they're expensive. I think they're like $100 or something.
Yeah.
So like just for your little cruise around the Disney Springs waterway, that little lake between Saratoga and Disney Springs. But your captain on the aqua boat, or skipper or driver, does regale you with like interesting facts while you're on them, I hear, and it is a unique experience, definitely.
It sure is. Yeah.
Yeah, from just once in a lifetime kind of point of view. They're like these vintage cars. They're beautiful and bright colors, and this is over by the boathouse, and you drive into the water in them. Well, you don't. Your captain does. Drives you into the water, and then it becomes a little boat, and you take a little tour. For your 20-minute tour, it's $125 per car, with up to 3 to 4 people in the car per tour. So hey, yeah, 4 people.
Yes, I was just about to say we'd split it.
Yeah, if we ever do this, it will be a double date.
Yeah.
Me, my husband, Morgan, and her husband.
Yeah.
In the car, and then it's not so bad actually. It's
it's still a lot. But
yes, but for a novelty experience, where pretty much the whole experience is just.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool offering, and I would like to do it maybe for one of our birthdays.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun little thing to do.
Yeah, I do think it looks like a cool experience. Back in the day, they would like rent out jet skis, but like Sprites or the little boats.
Okay.
That, and they would let people rent them and drive them. So there were just people zipping around.
In downtown Disney?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
In this same water area.
Gotcha.
And they got rid of that, I believe, because of some sort of safety issue.
I believe you. 100%.
Yeah, and so now that this is the only option for something like that, and you don't get to drive it anymore. I mean, back in the day, from what my parents tell me, if you were over the age of 12, you could drive one of these little boats.
Interesting.
Yeah. You can see
times.
You can see why it would have been a safety. I wonder how many people got hurt.
Yeah, it's quite possible that a lot, because just in the Disneyland history of guest driven boats and stuff, there have been many problems. So I could definitely see that.
What's it called? What's another, like a Sea-Doo?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not familiar with these or with this term even. Sprites or Sea-Doo.
Okay. I'm gonna find out what it's called. Is it jet ski if nobody's skiing?
I don't think so.
Well, anyway.
Motorized boat?
This is talking about the current options.
Gotcha.
The big ones. Jet ski boat. Yeah. Okay.
It's funny. Most of the guest piloted boat experiences in Disney, I think they're all gone now. There used to be some around Magic Kingdom as well, and like the 7 boats and stuff.
But you mean, and you drive it?
Yep. and that was like in the 70s when the parks first opened. But that is long gone. They had a lot of plans for what you could do in that lagoon. They installed a wave making machine in the Seven Seas Lagoon so that you could surf on the waves if you were staying on Polynesian. It never worked though. They never got it going. And despite attempts to fix it, it's still rotting on Beachcomber Island. The huge wave machine that they installed there.
Wow.
So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Disney California Adventure wave machine also has had its fair share of problems, and that was another area where, I believe for a short time, there was boats. So I guess this has always been a problem. I remember the Phantom boats in Disney Springs had a problem where the motors would leak oil, so they would occasionally give guests like fume headaches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't get boats right.
Yeah,
it's a complicated thing.
Yeah, I can't find anything. I'll find it after we get off, and then maybe we'll add it.
Sounds like a good TikTok.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh, I know. And what I had read, although this was unconfirmed, of course, was that somebody fell off their boat and then got hit by another boat and died. Ooh. Unconfirmed.
Yeesh.
And that their kid was still in the boat and watching.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it gets worse. But I mean, that could be total.
That is not musty memory.
That could be some jerk on the internet making something up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Right,
I hope it's not true.
Well, either way, you can't do it now.
You can't, yeah. So
maybe an aqua park tour instead. Yeah.
Did you do a little touch of magic?
A little touch of magic, yes. My little touch of magic, I'm not going to get too deep into it. So much to talk about. But is the general backstory that was constructed for Disney Springs when they did the overhaul from downtown Disney. It was like, Disney Springs is a natural water reservoir that got turned. They town sprung up around it, and there's a bottling company to take the water and bottle it. And there's also water conservation stuff going on in this fictitious backstory. And there are little allusions to it all over Disney Springs on manhole covers. There's a water pipe experience, interactive feature in front of one of the lakes that you can do. There are little touches of bottling co signage around and advertisements for the clean, fresh, refreshing water of Disney Springs in places. And I like that Disney adds these fictitious backstories to their parks and shopping districts because it adds a touch of imagination to the whole setup. It's not maybe quite as elaborate as the Pleasure Island backstory that we have discussed on this podcast, which is mythical in its depth and ambitiousness.
It's certainly less fantasy.
Yes.
It's like a real story.
Yeah, it's a little bit more, grounded in reality. But it is
You could actually believe it. Yeah.
Totally.
The backstory was mine as well, but I will mention another touch of magic that I love for Disney Springs is the Snoke that they do in the Christmas season.
Oh, that's a great one.
This is the only, no, not the only, that's not true, but this is a really fun place that they do Snoke outside of the city.
Oh, do they do Snoke somewhere else outside of the
They
city?
sure do.
Where?
One of our favorite places.
Water park?
Winter Summerland Mini Golf.
They do snow there?
Yes, they just don't. It doesn't go 24/7. Oh. So at the very front when you're walking in, there's the statue of Santa and and then next to that is a Snoke machine that goes off randomly.
Right. Love it.
Random bursts of Snoke.
Gotcha. But this is if you're looking for the traditional Disney Snoke all over the street kind of experience. Yeah, where
it goes, a solid 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's
it is also random everywhere. It's random everywhere, but it's very, very random at Winter Summer.
Yes. At Disney Springs, it's coordinated with Christmas music over the Christmas music. Yeah, that is a great little touch of magic. I actually love being there in the winter time and I never remember that they do it. So it's a nice little surprise
Yeah.
for me every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. My little touch of magic, being the backstory, is probably actually not something that everyone even would notice or care about, as much as the snow maybe, because that you could get some really cool. But it's nice that they've got like these different facets to keep you entertained throughout your visit.
Yeah. Well, and I think they would know even if they didn't know, because like you might not know that there's like an elaborate backstory, but you know that the decor all goes together and all has this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like subconscious.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely get that.
And it all flows.
Like the water. The spring. That's it, Morgan.
That's it.
That's all the must-do magic in Disney Springs. And listen, there's a lot to do. We haven't even touched upon Lego store, or a bunch of the other kind of landmark experiences around Disney Springs, but that's just because there's so much to do that it's impossible to jam it all into one single episode of anything.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully this will give you a place to start if you're looking to plan a Disney Springs trip and you're looking for some reliable touch points. You know you'll have, or you can hope that you'll have better odds of having a good experience. So that's our must-do magic episode for Disney Springs. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love it if you could subscribe to either the YouTube channel for the visual version, or if you're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to the show. And if you're looking to find more of us, you can check us out on social media, on Instagram and TikTok at Neverland Navigation.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have an Etsy shop. On Etsy, the store is called Neverland Navigation. That's also, if you look at that store, you can see some of the shirts that we do.
Yes.
That's the kind of shirts, although I do custom. Pretty much everything that we sell is a custom shirt. And custom shirts is what you would get if you booked a trip through me. And to do that, you would email me at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com.
Yeah, maybe you need a shirt for your Disney Springs day.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I love the Neverland Navigation Etsy. Soft t-shirts.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a soft t-shirt?
And for your favorite ride or attraction.
Oh yeah. Can't forget about that. All right. That's going to do it for us today.
That's it.
All right. Well, hey, until the next time you're taking a boat to Disney Springs, we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye.
Bye.